It's like, I can't even describe them. They're warm, they're sugary. They have. Oh my god, how is it?
There are samples. So this is gonna make it. This one right here being the absolute hottest.
The mildest, the hottest. Okay.
I'm finding that out right now. Out to downtown, I believe it's a downtown Scott.
Downtown Scott.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to a little coffee shop there. We're gonna try out the beignets. Not sure if you guys recall, but it's one of my non-negotiables. That we don't have a beignet, then you know what? We may have made a bad decision. So as we get to know a city, we love to do it, you know, on foot. What are your impressions? How easy, like accessibility? Like what if someone is, you know, can't freely just kind of maneuver and get about? Would you recommend this for someone with any limitations? Because I think that's important to know.
I wouldn't.
No?
I wouldn't recommend it for someone with limitations. Morning.
Look at all that. All the beads. How cool is that? Oh man.
I can smell the beignets from here.
Arriving at the coffee depot for some coffee and beignets. Thank you guys so much. It's a wonderful day. Oh, look right here. Right over there.
Area.
Yeah. Plenty of outdoor seating. Let's go sit in the little caboose area. You can just sit out here in a rocking chair. Yeah, so we were a little bit warm from the walk. It's a little, yeah, I'd say it's a little, let me get set up here.
It was definitely like 73 with a cool breeze, but I got hot really quick walking. We walked like 1.2 miles from the KOA.
It's cooling off right now. That breeze feels good.
A little bit of a breeze, but we walked in and had some iced coffee instead of hot coffee.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit too warm to have.
I would have done a Gatorade actually. I don't know. So just to recap, we walked over here. It's just over a mile from the KOA. I will tell you this, that although it was a easy mile to walk, the roads are very narrow, and it was actually a lady that almost hit her. So not really sure what was up with that, but there's nowhere for pedestrians to walk. Or intermittently, I guess there's some spots.
There is closer to downtown. There's it starts having a sidewalk.
And then especially with the barricades, right? It got a little bit difficult with the barricades.
Oh, we made a little friend.
Oh yeah, get out of here. Oh, there's two of them stuck together. So then we came here to the coffee depot.
Yes.
We actually seen this place on a different YouTube channels.
Yes.
And highly recommend it. It was delicious. What'd you think of the beignets?
Beignets were probably some of the best beignets I've had. I would say the difference between maybe other places in here is this was really airy and kind of fluffy.
Yeah, fluffy.
And
like a little pillow.
They were big. They were like a king size pillow compared to other beignets we had. And I am not a very sweet person, so I don't like a lot of sweets. They put just the perfect amount of powdered sugar for me, and then he likes the sugar. So they brought an extra shaker of
Give me
sugar.
some sugar.
Yeah, they brought an extra shaker of sugar, which I appreciated. So it wasn't overwhelmingly sweet, but you could have it whichever way you want. You could have it light on the powdered sugar, or you could overwhelm yourself with powdered sugar, whichever you want.
Even your latte, they made sure not to make it as sweet, but it's still very delicious and cold, refreshing. Yeah, those pillow beignets, that's a great description of them. I mean,
they're like this. I've never seen them like that, but I have to say, I thought beignets were made, correct me if I'm wrong, that they're fried, and I would have to say, like, no remnants of oil, nothing, like very, very light, fluffy, and airy, and we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back. Highly recommend you guys come here. If you're passing through, easy stop. This is a easy stop. If you wanted to get just a little taste of Louisiana, even if you're passing through the state, stop here for the beignets and a coffee. You will not regret it. Then we also had a breakfast, right? So we're gonna go to the TABASCO Factory. We're gonna make our way out there right now. We're trying to fit in as much as we can do. It's what we like to do when we're out traveling. So we chose to have a breakfast meal as well, right? It was just gonna be
more of a traditional breakfast. So grits,
which were great.
He had sausage, I had ham, 2 over easy eggs, and you could have a biscuit, which we chose biscuit. We had an extra pancake as well, which we could
just
not
for a tasting, but my stomach just it tapped out on us.
We could not finish. We ordered more than what we needed to, of course, but we do that everywhere we go.
Yes. So beignets, check. This was a wonderful stop. And so what's next for us is we're gonna hightail it back to the campsite, take Mary for a real quick walk, and then make our way to the TABASCO Factory.
Yes.
All right. See you guys soon. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, here we are. We just got to the TABASCO Factory.
A little bit of
we're again
peppers
at the TABASCO Factory. We just got done going through the tour.
Yes.
Sitting with a sprinkle right now.
Yes.
But it feels nice.
Very pleasant.
Yeah, so we started off by doing what? We arrived, we found easy parking, especially if you have an RV, right?
Yes, plenty parking.
Yes, so that's always nice to know and always a plus. We made our way over to the, where the tour starts.
Yes.
Purchased our tickets. How much were they?
It was $36 total for both of us. So $18 each.
Yeah, very, very sweet lady. She actually gave me a little Marine Corps Tabasco bottle, which is phenomenal. And then they gave us 2 little souvenir ones.
Bottles.
Yeah, and these are the exact same ones that used to come in MREs, which I was very sad to find out that they no longer put those in MREs. I said it's been a while since I was in the military, so yeah, that was a little bit of just sad news, I guess.
Trying to find them so I can show you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me see. There was one.
From there, we made our way over to
the Marine Corps one she gave him.
Oh yeah.
And
Tabasco.
there you go.
Look how neat. Yeah, that's
really
so
neat.
Cool. From there, we made our way over into the greenhouse?
The greenhouse.
So we toured that, pretty neat. I'm assuming there are bigger greenhouses, and that was just for the purposes of
kind of an example.
Yeah. But really neat to see that. And then we made our way into the barrel storage. So pretty much
barrel room.
Barrel room. Is that what? Okay, great. And it looks like what they're doing is curing the.
Yeah. And we thought it was ice. I thought it was maybe dry ice on top, but it was actually salt.
Salt.
They put on top of the barrel.
Because part of the tour, there was Salt Lick. There was
like a salt
mine. Yeah.
I don't know.
So leaving the barrel room, we made our way over into the bamboo garden.
Yes.
Which was pretty neat.
Yes, that was really cool.
I didn't read every little sign, so I'm not fully educated on the process, so I don't really know what the bamboo garden has to do with anything.
A little bit of it, just by reading the signs, was the owner of, or the inventor of Tabasco brought them over from Asia. It didn't really specify, but he brought them over, and then they kind of thrived here, and they were planted, and that's about all I got.
I am really glad they were there, because we were actually able to kind of walk through there and caught a nice little breeze and we cooled off.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Making it from there, we went over into the main factory, and we just kind of walked through the different steps, and the factory is labeled in a number sequence from you to go 1 through 6 or 7.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to follow the tour.
Yeah, there was a stairs where you had to walk up. And, you know, so once again, I just like to make the mention because, you know, not everyone can just get around. And, you know, not mention that just because I've had a time or two where, you know, I was down and
Or we
couldn't
both
just
have
walk
had
around.
surgeries
Yeah.
and we wouldn't be able to go up the stairs.
So, you know, I just make that as a mention, you know, because like everything else, I always do encourage a lot of people to get out and travel, especially veterans. I feel it's good for your mental health. And, you know, sometimes you don't move around like you used to, right?
Yes.
So then once we made it through all the different, you know, sequences, I mean, it was pretty neat because, and if I remember correctly, we went into the, gosh, what was it? Where they were doing something with the pepper itself, right? They were,
it was almost like how they were mixing, like the
yeah.
big vats where they were mixing. There's another name for it,
Yeah.
but I don't remember it right now. But they were mixing everything together. You could all you could see were the vats with almost like a contraption up top, maybe to, I don't know, maybe it's something to gauge the temperature, but that was pretty much all you could see. Then from there,
yeah,
we
and we
met
a very nice gentleman that had a story about someone who had sniffed the, like when one of them bats opened up, they sniffed it and it overtook them, right?
Yes.
So I guess it kind of like maybe like feel almost like CS or some sort of like, you know, gas, I would imagine.
Definitely.
Then from there we made it to we got to see the Salt Lick mine or a replica. And then we just kind of followed the tour, continued to walk around, made our way into the country store.
Yeah,
which
so
is
take a look at the country store, and then now we're kind of sitting by the 1868 restaurant because they do have their own restaurant on site as well.
And in the country store, once you're done with everything and you go in there, that's where they have all the different Tabascos.
Oh, that's where you were proven wrong.
Yeah, earlier I had mentioned, you know what, it would have been nice if we could have done a tasting. Well,
they have it there.
They have it there. So it's a really, really nice stuff. Now, the other thing you could also do if you're driving through, you know, we paid for the full tour. We're happy to do it. I'm always glad. But correct me if I'm wrong, I think you could just go into the little country store, the souvenir shop, you know, and support this great place by maybe buying a souvenir, having a tasting, bottled Tabasco, and go on your way. So you could essentially you could be driving through and make this a very short attraction.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. But all in all, you know, really, really nice. And like I said, like I always got to ask, was this worth it?
I think it was worth it.
Yeah, I think it was worth it too. I don't necessarily think you have to pay for the tour. I think you can enjoy enough here if you're on a budget, and you know, maybe instead of spending the $35 or $30 on the tour, maybe you spend $10, $15 on a souvenir, you know, a magnet for your fridge.
And you could still kind of go to those bamboo gardens without being part of the tour. You could still come out here and kind of picnic right here in front of the restaurant if you wanted to.
Sure.
There's a bunch of really beautiful trees, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but where you buy the tickets, I think you can at least go into like that first building, which is just some background on Tabasco. Like a museum. It's like a little museum, and then that's it. You know, you wouldn't be able to do the rest of the tour.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I don't think anything would have stopped us from going in there.
No.
Right? Because we purposely walked up to the window to buy for the tour. So we could have seen the museum and then went to the gift shop.
Yeah.
So, you know, do whatever it is that you have the budget and the time and the resources to do. But I'll tell you what, if you had 30 minutes to 45 minutes of your time to give up, I'd come here.
Definitely.
And you could definitely do that.
I'd come again, definitely.
Right. So, you know, right now what we're going to continue to do is explore this area. There are some other gardens out here. What were they called?
I think it's like the jungle garden.
Jungle garden.
Something like that. We'll see. Don't quote me on that because I might be wrong.
So we might go take a look at that. And all right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
We're at the Jungle Gardens, which is also part of Avery Island. Our ticket to the Tabasco Factory also allowed us entry into the gardens. And what we found out is that it's a 3-mile loop. You can either drive it or you can walk it. Or you can do a combination of both. What we've already seen is people who are driving, they're stopping at the photo opportunities, taking their pictures, doing whatever. I mean, they could have a picnic out there.
Right here. I don't know what this is, but which is pretty cool. It's almost like bamboo.
Yeah, it's
with
bamboo and
Spanish
something
with
Spanish moss. Is that Spanish moss? Is this Spanish moss?
Spanish moss. That's what I'm thinking it is.
Yeah, truly don't. I don't know, but that,
Not gonna say I'm not even 50% sure, but
yeah, that's the term that came out.
if you know what it is, let us know. Actually, I figured it would be like a really hard texture, and it's not.
That's pretty cool.
It's beautiful though.
Let's get away from it before a snake or something jumps out of it. But yeah, as I was mentioning, we're gonna enjoy the walk. We're gonna maybe film just a few more spots just to pop in and out. Tell you right now, nobody knows we're here, right? So if you know, one of these little Jungle Cruise characters out here were to come up and grab us and have us for lunch. I mean, look at this. Yeah. Let's apply a little risk management to this and this, we are surrounded by the habitat.
Do not feed the alligators.
Caution.
We don't intend to.
Do not feed guys, the last thing that I'm gonna do is feed an alligator. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Oh, gosh.
All right, guys. We got a little wet.
Oh yeah.
The weather turned on us. Oh, the one time my little weatherproof thing here. All right, let me get the truck going.
So we're gonna take a double take since it started raining pretty hard. As you can see, we're wet. My whole arm's wet.
Yeah.
Love the rain, but it just got a little bit too wet for us. So we are going to drive through the tour. So you could drive, you could also walk. We tried walking halfway, came back after we walked about halfway.
So we got some exercise. A couple things. When we were walking, I will tell you this, it is a little sketchy.
Yeah, some areas.
Because there's alligators and wildlife, right? And what I saw was that the water level, and there's plenty of water out there where there would be alligators.
Yeah.
It's almost even with the land, right? So if there was an alligator and that alligator wanted to kind of like come out at you, I think the alligator's at the advantage.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, they're at the advantage, right? So at first I didn't think no big deal about it. We were just out walking and looking at it, and we saw the signs that said, hey, don't feed the alligators, and we chuckled at that. But then we started walking down this, and I'll have a time lapse and I'll show it. We started walking down this one little path,
Yeah.
and then we got a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper, and then I thought to myself, my street smarts, I guess, kicked in, and I'm like, hey,
Kind of not a good idea.
we're down a dark alley right
Yeah.
now in a big city, and we don't need to be here, right? So we hightailed it out of there, and I realized that a couple things. Nobody knows we're there because we didn't check in.
No.
Number two, there was no one around even that,
No, there was no one around that would see us.
you know,
so.
nobody that works out here is out driving around monitoring anything.
No.
It's just wide open, right? So if something were to happen, I mean, it could be
Yeah.
bad. I'm not saying somebody wouldn't find you, but you might end up at the bottom of that.
And then we did see at the Tabasco factory, which is not even a mile down the road, the sign about bears.
Yeah, I
Like,
said,
don't engage with the bears.
don't engage with the bears.
You know, don't try to talk to the bears.
Yeah.
Like, leave the bears alone.
I'm gonna sit
Run the
there
other way.
try to arm wrestle a bear or something. Yeah, no, I won't engage with the bears, I
So,
promise.
yes.
So yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take maybe a little windshield tour. It is raining out there, but we'll do it like a little hyper recording.
Well, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn. Yeah, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn.
All right, so we just got done with our windshield tour of the gardens, and previously we had mentioned that when we were out and about walking, that I had that weird I'm in the wrong alley type of feeling, right? I want to say about maybe 100 feet before we stopped walking or we turned around and started heading back, what did we run into?
An alligator.
Yeah, nice little alligator.
You got a
Right on the
picture?
side of the road,
Yeah.
just waiting for us. He had heard there's a couple of pedestrians coming his way. I don't know what would have happened, but I don't know anything about alligators, right?
Probably
So
nothing. I mean, it wasn't really moving or anything. It was kind of, to be honest with you, kind of hard to spot because it's just like almost looks like a statue. Doesn't look like their eyes are blinking or anything. So it was interesting to see. That
I'm
close.
telling you, earlier when we were walking and I had that feeling, everything that I saw was either a snake or an alligator. So if
Yeah.
I saw like a tree root, my mind was just
Yes.
playing tricks on me.
It kind of seemed like that every time you would see, because you would see a tree root come out of the ground, but there was no tree around. So it kind of did
Yeah.
look like a snake.
But,
I
I
could
mean,
see that.
I mean, that was awesome to be able to see a creature like that. We've seen them before.
Yes.
You know, we're in the bayou, we're here in Louisiana. We saw an alligator earlier today. We had beignets.
Yes.
We've had Boudin already.
Yes.
We're on our way back. Today's the first day of the Boudin Festival. We knew it's gonna rain this afternoon, so probably by the time we get back, I'm hoping the weather be,
Clear.
better.
Or
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
Or if not, who cares? We're going to go to the
Still gonna
festival. Yeah. Avery Island, excuse me, Avery had a
Let me grab the little
carbonated drink,
Yeah.
so Avery Island did not disappoint.
So
yeah.
Avery Island, they give you this little Avery Island parking pass, so you're able to park there. They don't charge you for the parking. Yeah, so it's pretty cool because, like I said, we said earlier, you could go there. You don't have to spend money. You can spend money if
Yes,
you want,
'cause
but you can at least enjoy the area.
Yeah, Avery Island is a National Historic Place, so I think that's what that's about, is what we came in. All in all, what a great afternoon. That little alligator, made my day. And but what we did is we time-lapsed our windshield tour, and we pretty much drove the entire route, and then there was designated areas where you could go and stop for RV and bus
RVs and
parking.
buses, yes.
I will tell you that whoever designed that and said, sure, why not? I don't know if they own an RV or not, right? So they might be like, go ahead and
Yeah.
park there. Now, what that would do to your axles and your turn radius, and some of them trees, I think they did put thought into that because they were pretty
Yeah.
specific in no RVs and no buses.
There is an area where it's a pretty sharp turn, and we actually missed the turn because it doesn't say exit, there's no sign. But if you go down further, it gives you an area to make a U-turn, and I do feel like you can make a U-turn with,
Yeah.
we could make one with our fifth wheel down there.
Yeah, so I'll put in the little spot kind of where the RVs were situated, where they stopped, and then you choose for yourself. If that's something you want to do. To me, would I do it?
I don't think we would do it. I don't think so. You can't even answer it, but I say no.
I don't know. Sometimes I do some stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen it in
Sometimes we do some things that we
previous
shouldn't do.
video. I'll go places I probably shouldn't. Think it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Now my gut's telling me I'd go in there, no problem, because on a long day where you're driving and you do want to see something, I think it's an activity to do. It's better than being somewhere else where you can't. So
Yeah.
yeah, but we saw an alligator. So this trip, I mean, it can't get any better.
No.
It really
We've
can't.
done everything we
Yeah.
set out to do, and now we'll do the Boudin Festival today. Maybe try a different Boudin than what we tried yesterday, because we went to Billy Boudin's. We're meeting up with some friends, so maybe they'll have some insight on what we can try, and maybe we'll buy a few things there and show you guys.
Yeah, today we have so much footage, and what we'll do is we'll give you guys a small, quick, glimpse of what it's all about. But when things tend to be chaotic or overcrowded, overpacked, I kind of just focus to the end. But All right, guys, so next stop for us today is going to be the Boudin Festival. At some point, you know what I'd really like to do is you had mentioned earlier having a po'.
Oh yeah, having a po' boy. So I mean, maybe we'll do that on Sunday. We might, yeah, or we can. Maybe we could do that on Sunday and do a po' boy then, because we're gonna kind of trying to see if we can extend our trip one more day. We'll have to talk to the KOA and see. But if we do, maybe we'll do that. Figure out something else to do in the area.
Well, we knocked out 2 things that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
3 if you include our little buddy, the alligator that we got to see. Because we were going to go see an alligator, and I know where they're at the University of Lafayette. I believe it's called the University of Lafayette. The Raging Cajuns. They have a little area, and they always have the alligators.
Yes.
But now that we did this, we don't have to do that. He was neat. He was just hanging out. So, and then there was one more thing that you said that was worth going to go see.
It's called like Rip Van Winkle or something. It's some sort of home mansion gardens, but I don't know if I want to do that now because we just saw kind of a garden, that jungle experience. So we'll have to look at that because it's kind of in the same general area, so we'll be coming back this way. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do something different, but we'll see. We may be back to do that tour, but I've heard that tour is a great tour as well. So
perfect. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay, bye.
Yeah?
Okay. It's got some...
Well, we just made it to the Boudin Festival.